sexy, spooky bones. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Skeleton Boys, a horror movie podcast. I am Rolando.
Joan.
It sounded...
That's my name.
Oh. So now...
No, I don't know.
It sounds like you were trying to sing it, say it. Now you just sound like Borat. Or Borat.
Borat. My name's Borat. I'm played by a slightly racist man. No, he's kind of full on racist.
That's a different show. And welcome to the show. This show, we are reviewing VHS or V/H/S/Beyond. As always, John will give us the plot in 5 words, give our first thoughts, and then we'll go to a deep spoiler analysis. But first, we go back to TV Corner. We're reviewing Season 3, Episode 9 of From, titled Revelations, Chapter 1. I can't talk, so...
Would you say, I feel like this episode in particular, it felt like tensions were at an all-time high as the town's residents learned that one of their own has gone missing?
Oh. That's not how I would describe it, per se.
Oh, interesting.
But
interesting.
yeah, I mean, you can. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, would you also say that unfortunately this show is garbage 3 seasons in and nothing is season 3 is just filler, nothing happening. So unfortunately, this is one of the episodes that is not getting great reviews from the people at home. And I might be kind of there with them.
Right. That's interesting. You're right. That's my burner account. Oh,
that's funny. Oh, actually, I think we figured out that you're the other half of the burner.
Yeah, we read other reviews. We're like the only 2 people who subscribe to MGM Plus.
Yeah. And then the one person that's not us says, "Didn't you want answers? I really don't understand the complaints. The story is moving forward slowly but surely."
That's a PA.
3 seasons in, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
The office PA that they passed to.
It's just sit and write reviews. Yeah. No, yeah. I am. I think I mentioned this previous episode. I feel like the show is going in circles, that nothing's changed, that we're kind of just like rehashing season 2 in a way, and nothing's progressed forward. There's really no forward momentum, and this just kind of like signals it. And there's really only like one moment I like in this episode. Do you want to take a guess? And it's not the one we talked about. That was funny.
Is it Boyd finally saying the word Parkinson's out loud because they finally got like clearance to say it?
You know, that revelation, the chapter title one, did not resonate with me. I understand that like it's a big moment for Boyd and to tell his son, and he told his son, right? Who did he tell?
Yeah. He told his son and he told Kenny.
Right. And the way I watched over those characters is the way I watched over me. I did not care. I was pretty much didn't care.
Yeah, because I think all the characters were kind of like, "Oh, is that back?"
They're like, "Yeah, we've known that forever."
Is that back to move the story along? What's going on?
Yeah.
I know in the grand scheme of things, it's only been like a month, but
yeah, exactly. No, my moment.
But everybody's aged drastically. So,
my moment is the one you mentioned about Donna having basically like a flashback to Tabitha. Tabitha. She remembers Tabitha's birthday day she arrived. I don't know how they count time there, but yeah. So, and I like that moment because I feel like that's what's missing in this show, because the show wants to like throw a lot of things at you. Like, this is happening, this could be a thing, this could be a thing. Or like, what I mean is like, oh,
hey, it's Sarah Myers. Yeah.
There's monsters. Oh, and there's a tree. People time travel now, and there's like fucking shit in the forest. There's spiders. Like, they try to throw a lot of stuff at you. And what I liked about that moment is that it's actually a nice character moment for Donna thinking of Tabitha. And it's like, yes, that is true, because in season 1, Tabitha was like, always had like a positive attitude, so everybody kind of gravitated towards her. She was like a unofficial leader of the house, the way she was she got Julie, right, as her person or whatever. So like they kind of did that whole thing. And
do you think she's gonna sacrifice herself at the end of this or something? And,
Donna?
Yeah, I feel like it's rearing up for. There's too many things going on with her. It feels like she's gonna die soon.
I feel like Donna's safe. I think there's a lot more other people on the board.
You don't think Abacus, or what the fuck's her name?
Abacus? Is that? I don't know.
What's her name?
Tabitha?
Acosta. You don't think Acosta is gonna just be like, well, now I take control of the house and, you know, make further conflict for no reason?
I think she's up for a... they're trying to redeem that character by starting her so negatively. They're trying to like swing her the other way, I think.
Like, what's his face that didn't really show up in this episode?
Yeah.
The guy that played the bad guy in Reacher.
Yeah. Randall, right? You're talking about Randall? Yeah, Randall. Yeah. Same idea, but yeah, they're trying to like redeem the character. Yeah. Yeah, this episode was hard to watch because like we literally like, this is the second to last episode, and I just feel like we're rehashing everything. Like everything from last season has just come right back, and I'm not sure why, because it's like From It so far has been pretty good about starting something and like having not a conclusion per se, but like there's like stories that happen within the season, and there's like the big story for the whole show, and they kind of dole out like little pieces of the big show stuff, and then we get like seasonal mysteries and stuff, which I thought they handled pretty well last year. But it seems like everything kind of just resets. Like Tabitha, and it was cool because like Tabitha escaped, but then everything just resets. She's like, not even 2 episodes later, she's back where she started. So it's hard to see why they went that direction, you know, like what motivated that. But
yeah, and it was kind of bumming me up because the one thing I could take away from this episode was Robert Joy did a really good job of paying attention to the Victor character, and he acts the same way.
Yeah, there are hints of it, yeah.
And then Ellis is acting a lot like Boyd now. Like a lot more like Boyd every time he has a conversation with somebody. And I think it's supposed to be like him maturing to take over instead of Kenny.
Yeah, but I don't want to lose Boyd. Boyd's like the only
kind of the
best part of the show. Yeah. Like his character hasn't, like the stuff they've done to that character hasn't like derailed my interest in him. Like so many of these other characters, like as much as I like Jade, I like the actor, like he's been doing nothing for seasons.
Yeah, it sucks too, because he's I don't know, they keep like ramping him up to be super important, and then they just forget about him.
It's like, no, we got to focus on the Matthews family. Tabitha has to have the fucking visions.
It's like what Jim has that conversation with the kid, Ethan, right?
Ethan, yeah.
And the whole like, I was just trying to do the best I can, and or he says you're just trying to do the best you can. Like now the kid understands. I'm like, oh, there's some closure there. Oh, are they things gonna come out and kill him? No, the scene just ends. I got really disappointed.
Yeah, or like Christy was like a constant scene partner with Boyd's character. She seemed like she was important to the town, right? And she's the last 2 seasons since they introduced to her, I don't know, girlfriend, lover, something. She's been so like put in the background, or even like Kenny too. Kenny really was like has been pushed to the background. Like there's so many interesting. I would argue like so many interesting characters that don't have any story, but I would say like Ellis, I feel gets a pretty good flow of stories, but like he just sort of is just kind of indifferent character. Things happen to him, but he's kind of like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I thought Elgin was gonna kill him.
Right. Yeah. Like that's another character that for whatever reason seemed important. Like he had like a connection to this place last season, but now it's really disappointing that Elgin character fell for one of their tricks, because there's so many characters that have fallen for this for their like not tricks is not really a good way to describe it, but like the creatures are manipulating them, and there's so many examples of them, right? Because we already went through that with Sarah, right? And like even like the first scene of this whole season of season 1, I mean, is about the little girl that lets in the grandma, or like that one guy that lived in the house who let in the girl because they're getting like whatever manipulated. And it's just really like you would think that Elgin would tell somebody, and then like they'd be like, no, don't fall for that. They're clearly trying to use you for something. It just seems repetitive.
And you would figure like this thing that tried to fucking kill him, and you would just, I don't know why he's listening to it all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And also, I know you're watching me mess with.
I'm trying not
this is not a filter. It's just the sun is like beaming through the window and like hitting me hard. So that's why I was trying to fix it. I can't. I'm covering it, the casting with my hand right now.
I was like, damn, John is so low res right now. Is it my internet? It's like I can't.
The sun's trying to fuck with me right now.
I just think it was a poor choice because I didn't like the way they've done Elgin, in that they have like shifted his character so much that I'm disappointed that this really reason why this is what they've come up with for Elgin, and like the kimono lady and like all these, like, really, that's it. She's just another.
Which we can now confirm kimono lady is not.
I don't know, dude. It's still early. We haven't seen the last episode.
That's true, but I think this kimono lady is trying to give birth to another baby again for whatever reason.
Right? Yeah, we don't know quite yet what that could mean, and I'm not confident they are gonna explain it or be a very satisfying revelation. Chapter 1. So pretty below average episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff happened, but I just don't know if it's even worth talking about.
Right.
Because it's everything we already know about the season.
I mean, I know they wanted to end on. They ended on a very confusing scene, right? Like it was hard to understand what was going on because Julie and Tabitha are looking for Fatima, and
yes,
they make it to the bunker. And before they find...
Because one of the children guided them.
Yeah.
That only Tabitha can see.
Right. Yeah. And so she's just like she's like a room away from finding Fatima, but then she suddenly has visions of Victor's mom. So it's like...
Because she touched him? Like, so she's like a fucking seer now or something? Like,
So yeah, it's really confusing because the way it could be interpreted is like she's either Victor's sister, which is weird, but the way it's like executed on the show, it kind of feels that way, that you're Victor's sister. Or what seems more likely is that that she's like reliving Victor's mom's life, but can actually like feel the pain of it, or like experiencing it through her eyes.
Yeah.
Because we get that creature that he killed, and the one with the big grin, and the ginger.
The smile.
Right.
Perfect for smile movies.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I'm like kind of hoping, like, not Victor's sister, obviously, but that she was another kid that they try to get out of there, and she got out. Well, I guess not, because she called her mom.
Yeah, I felt like...
There was that pointless moment where she called her mom.
And not tell her where she was or what she was doing, yeah.
You know, where that very nice young lady was like, yeah, borrow my phone, weird woman.
Yeah.
I trust you. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's Revelation episode chapter 1.
Yeah. Yeah, not a huge fan.
Can you imagine if we get the series episodes for season 4 and it's Revelation chapter 3 is
It's,
like 14.
yeah, I guess that's the other thing that happened this week as we're recording, is that they announced season 4 from, so that's cool. It's good. We're gonna get one more season.
What bums me out is they were fully prepared to just leave us possibly pissed that nothing got explained.
It's amazing that From has survived this long, because it's on a fledgling streamer, you know, like a very not popular MGM Plus, right? But
that's also what do you call it? Now Amazon Prime, so I think more people are watching it.
yeah, because I did see, or at least early on this season, I did see more people talking about it, which was different. That more people online were talking about them.
Which kind of sucked, because it was, you know, we can be like, well, we watched the show when it was good. So just good.
Are you still watching it with your partner? Are you caught up? Yeah. Did you guys pull off? Or you just haven't returned to it? Or
yeah, she just kind of was like, I haven't gone back to it. And I'm like,
that's right. Okay, fair enough.
You can if you want. It's gonna just be a lot of like, nothing's answered. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that kind of turned her off to the whole thing.
Yeah. I would say the first season is good. It's a good first season. Really interesting first season. But
the second season had some really, really good moments, like killing one of the things.
Yeah.
And we have not gotten anything that fun in the season.
Right.
And we are going to be on the last episode. Except for Dale on a wall. Oh, we got Dale back. That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. He's in the flashback. Boy, I miss Dale. Could have used Dale this episode.
Voice of reason, Dale.
Yeah. All right. One more episode left, but let's move over to our main review, V/H/S/Beyond. John, do you want to give us the plot in 5 words?
Johnny. 5 word plot summary. Rolando, drum roll, please. For VHS Beyond, coming in at number 3. 1 might be dog shit. Just my opinion on one of the segments. Coming in at number 2 for VHS Beyond, Aliens Are for the Birds.
Aliens are for the birds. Okay.
And coming in at number 1 for VHS Beyond, Eerily Like My Unmarked Tapes.
I apologize if you can hear the construction. It's unavoidable. Sorry.
Oh.
Do you hear it?
No, we're each having our problems. Apparently, the son doesn't like.
This is chaos. We never recorded this time, but it's a little bit of the sausage being made there. But all right. You had already seen this movie, right? Before me? This is my first time.
No, I had seen most of it, but I hadn't finished it yet.
Great. Historically, the ones we have reviewed here, we've been
lukewarm on
lukewarm, yeah. I know you weren't a fan of. I haven't I think we saw 85, right? And then we've seen Beyond.
Yes.
And you've seen...
And I have seen the first two, which I think are both really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's VHS 94 that has like a segment that's pretty cool, but the rest of it I don't like.
And I guess the quote-unquote gimmick of this is, as they've made the sequels, it's kind of like... It kind of like tries to do it by decade. And this one, they try to do it by having this wraparound about aliens, right? That's kind of like the theme, aliens. Because they had to have that kind of like documentary ancient aliens beginning and stuff as the kind of like start and wrap around for the whole series. And then they did like each individual segments. So.
And the segments for the most part followed suit, except for whatever reason, Justin and Christian Bond's stupid one.
Okay. I think I should just say this. I didn't actively dislike all of them except.
Oh really?
Except for Kate Siegels. Like I just was so bored by all of them, which I was surprised because I think you had said that you kind of liked some of them.
I liked I liked most of them. This is kind of how the first two movies are. You know, it's kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
Fast and Loose, just like quick stuff. The only one I really, really don't like is the Justin Long, Christian Long one, the one about the dogs.
The dogs, yeah. Was it to kind of explain, they're like an anthology series, so you get like 5-6 shorts or something like that along that.
This one was 4, I think.
Yeah.
No, you're right, 6. Well, there's like the wraparound story, which I didn't like that one either, to be honest. I felt like it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, same. And I just felt like a majority of these were very ambitious, but kind of because of budget, because of whatever, we're kind of like not poorly executed is the word I want to use, but that's not right how I would describe each of them. They kind of just all had issues, all problems.
What was your big issue with, like, let's say the first one? So it's like a secret SWAT team, right? Well, they're not SWAT; they're just like cops,
right?
And you find out that I think what's kind of a major turnoff for you for this sort of movie series is like it's all first person, like very found footage. And that's because that's what the tapes are like being recorded off of, like something. Even though some of them, I'm like, there's no way you were carrying around a fucking VHS camcorder,
right?
On parachuting out, but
no, you're right. I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, that has been a. When it comes to found footage movies, I'm like immediate. I'm always looking at how the reasons to why they're still recording. Most movies generally don't. I would say don't really do it that well, give reasons, like logical reasons. But as far as like Stork or whatever, I think it just isn't a horror thing. Like it was well shot and it looked visually interesting, you know, like specifically like the stork was cool, like the creature design and everything, but it's like it felt more like an action movie, you know, like
I was gonna say it's like a horror video game. It's very
right.
Like Doom or, you know, like movies. I mean, yeah, games like
that. Yeah, exactly. Like it, you know, it's what would be you know, House of the Dead, right? But like kind of thing. So, which was cool. Like it was like I had no issues with like it technically the way it was pulled off and the designs of it, but like it just didn't resonate for me as like as a horror thing. It's I never found any of it scary. I never like found any of it like interesting, as it was just like this action per minute thing, and it was just like kind of felt like that one didn't really fit, even though like I didn't really, in my opinion, didn't fit into this anthology. Was my biggest gripe with it, because I would classify this as more of an action horror.
Oh, I get, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying, because not all they each wrote their own thing and directed their own thing, and
Right.
This one did involve aliens, though. To be fair, that's why I think I hated the dog one, because I was like, this does not belong in this movie. Oh, I guess the second one doesn't involve aliens either.
It's hard to. That was the was it Dreamgirl, right?
The one about the Bollywood starlet.
This is probably, in my opinion, chalked up to like half-baked idea. Like it's pretty, it's not all there in terms of the concept. Like it's just essentially, I don't know if she was just, this is all spoilers, but yeah, it's kind of just,
I mean, it's hard.
There's really only like one trick to this short, right? Like there's like a change or something in a character that's revealed. And it,
yeah, a robot woman is being empowered.
Oh, yeah,
she fucking destroys everybody.
Yeah, that one didn't really. The whatever the resolution to it, the setup of it. I don't know. It just seemed like it was half done. Like it didn't really feel like there was much of a concept or story there. So that one is probably the one that was probably in my opinion, the boring. It was kind of boring. And I have to agree with you about the one that thought started off really well, because at this point when I'm watching them, we're watching it just in order. Like I found the majority of them like, oh my god, this is terrible or boring. But the one that I thought stood out was Live and Let Die, right? Which
oh yeah, that was cool.
I love this. I love the concept of the start of it, right? It's somebody's birthday and they're all gonna go skydiving, but yet there's like an alien ship right outside their window. But I felt like once they get out of the, because they're all falling out of the plane or whatever, because the plane goes down. But once we get on the ground and they're running through all like the orange fields or whatever, orange grove or whatever, like they just like, it just becomes pretty paint by numbers, in my opinion. It never really like elevated to the next step. Though I think this is the one that probably has the most plausible camera. Why the camera is rolling? Because it's, he was wearing a like a GoPro, yeah, on his head. So he was just.
I guess it wouldn't be a GoPro because it's supposed to be. Well, I guess this one's not decade specific. It just says Beyond, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that one, it's supposed to be his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I did think so far. I understand what you're saying. I don't agree.
No, by all means, go ahead. Go ahead.
But the I like the way you said it. No, go ahead. Let me tell you how you're wrong.
Yeah, fall in. Yeah, go ahead. Fall into the trap.
I thought this one had some of like the more inventive deaths, like he's trying to get a hold of his friend, the guy that was supposed to be the guy pulling his chute, but the guy wasn't pulling the chute, because you find out when he hits the ground, because he's harnessed to the front so you can't see his friend, that the chute had wrapped around his neck. So when the chute finally unlatched, when he got to the ground, he saw that his friend's head had been like severed from the body. I was like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that one was like they just kept running in circles in the orange field. But I guess they wouldn't have been able to make it out. Like these things would have fucking killed them no matter where they were at.
Yeah, and I didn't particularly care for the alien design. I thought it was pretty.
I didn't like that.
Yeah,
either, I'll be honest. Yeah.
And I didn't understand. Like, I did like that it was all POV. I liked the use of the point of view. Like it made sense.
Yeah.
Like him running around.
And the alien design, though, there was something very reminiscent about one of the monster designs from the first movie. I'm wondering if that's what it was, but
Oh.
it didn't do it for me either, really.
What about the other
I'd
ones?
say like,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, well, the dog one I didn't like. I just straight up didn't like. I didn't think that was good.
Is there anything in Stork that you enjoyed, or saw differently than me?
I like the whole thing. Like I liked it. Did really feel like I was playing a horror video game, except without playing it. And I do like the idea of because it's got like a weird ending, right? Where only one of the guys really dies, the guy that was trying to get his baby back. But then via conversations, you realize that the captain of this team actually does this type of stuff more often than you think. So maybe he has his team and goes and kills like these different type of alien creatures.
Right. Yeah.
There is a fun moment where you see what the stork does, because what the stork is collecting babies, digging into people's foreheads and sucking out like brain matter, I guess, and feeding it to the babies and turning them into little birds too. And then these people that have their brains sucked out turn into like mindless zombies.
Right. Yeah.
So I think there is this element of how are they going to kill this thing, but then they just shoot it down.
Yeah.
And then it's like the camera lays there because like somebody had been slashed in the stomach and the camera fell off. And I like how the thing's about to move and then you just get some dude's fucking boot like fucking stomping the shit out of it. And then cut to them all taking a picture with the bird. Which I was like, this is very video gamey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I thought it was again, like I really I liked it, but it was more like I wasn't sure it really kind of fit. But I guess that's kind of one of the things I think this anthology like prides itself on. It's like we can throw a lot of genres at you, like they're not all going to be the same or whatever. So
yeah, which is why I guess the more I think about the second one, even though I did like the premise and I did like. If you just whittle it down to this chick's had it, she's just gonna fucking kill everybody.
Right.
I enjoy that part about it. Also because they did a good job of making sure that the people behind the camera aren't really redeemable. So it's like if they die, they die. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of shitty.
Right, and they were just like too like. Well, I think it's set in India, right? Can I say that? Is that fair?
Yes.
And then
I think it's fair. Yeah.
and they were recording. They were trying to get video of a celebrity or something, right? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then they are trying to get those shots and stuff. So I'm assuming you get paid. So it's like paparazzi, basically. So.
And the guy that we're following is real like I don't know. I've been trying to be a star for such a long time. She comes out of nowhere like 2 years ago.
Right.
So he sneaks into a trailer. I'm like, oh no. So this guy's going to be a fucking creep. And then, I mean, he gets his comeuppance, but.
There's more to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what? Like, yeah, the Bollywood starlet ends up just being a robot. I did think it was fun at the end. She starts playing the song again and dancing and like killing people, but it's all the lights keep going in and out, right?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
But then that's about it. That's all that is.
Yeah, that one probably was the one I liked the least. Because I couldn't make heads or tails of what Justin and Christian Long did. It was... You're right. It didn't... Like, I saw it and I was like, yeah, okay, I know what this is. Yeah. And that was it. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah. But it did, like, not fit at all. It's like you can chalk up maybe the Bollywood starlet to alien technology.
Yeah.
If you want to stretch it that thin. But this is just some woman is mentally unstable and doing it's like Justin Long was like, I was in Tusk. I'm going to make a version of that and make people turn into dogs. And it's like, I didn't like Tusk because of that. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I didn't like
yeah, same. Like,
and that sort of makeup design where one of the guys is completely broken and is a dog now. And you get the last shot of him mauling a guy trying to steal Amazon packages from the front porch. But like the face doesn't move. I don't know. It looks bad.
Yeah, I think this one was supposed to be like a little bit like, let's have a comedy horror or something, you know, like this is kind of fun and wacky. Or I don't know if I'm describing it correctly, but it's supposed to specifically try to be like this, see how nuts this is or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of indifferent to this one too. I thought it was terrible also.
And yeah, I'll admit, I think Kate Siegel's onto something as a director.
What?
So Mike Flanagan wrote it, right?
Did he?
Mike Flanagan wrote it. Yeah, he wrote it. So Kate Siegel's directing.
Oh, he did.
It.
Yeah, good call.
It wasn't bad. I just feel like it had pacing issues, but it wasn't bad at all. It was probably the strongest of all of them.
I feel the pacing at the end. I wish there could have been a tiny bit more clarity, but I think I got the gist of it. It's called Stowaway. So
yeah, so she's fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they got that tape, but
right, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they play so like fast and loose with that concept. It's kind of like, you know, it's all like found footage or something, right? So, yeah, but I thought the direction was really good, and yeah, I thought the story was actually pretty good. To me, it's like a perfect example of like a short, how to write a short, in my opinion. Like, because it has like this interesting character that we get little pieces of. We kind of know what type of person she is, relatable things, you know, and then it does like this big crazy thing at the end.
You know, like bad mother, yeah.
And they kind of do like this really crazy thing at the end, which I thought was, and they like, I liked how they interspliced because she's clearly like, to explain like, Kate Siegel's story is about this kind of, I don't know, she wants to be an interviewer or like make videos or something. I'm trying to.
I think she wanted to be a part of finding extraterrestrial life too. Like,
right.
They were getting a bunch of like.
She was personally.
People have been saying this about over here, and she got kicked out of whatever program because of some guy. And that's affecting her actual home life because she's a single mom, but she's like rarely taking care of her daughter. And she finds this alien craft because people have been talking about like that's what's been happening out here. She talks to a little girl and her grandmother, Nana, I don't know, whatever. So like this little girl and this other woman who doesn't speak English, talking about they visited her and they've been taking animals from the area and only animals because when they tried to take her hamster, she said, no, don't take my little hamster. And they said, they were like, oh, okay. And they sang her like a song and left. But I think the takeaway from there is they're only collecting animals. So when she gets on the ship, which I knew this was going to happen, I was like, oh man, the ship's going to take off without her. I mean, with her on the fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of cool design concept stuff. She plucks something that looks like a string, but it's super sharp, and it like slices her finger in half. And these like little nanobots come out of nowhere and fix her finger. And she's like, wow, this must be because the aliens need to hibernate and these animals that they've been collecting need to be in stasis, probably because of takeoff and landing. I've been trying to figure that one out. And she plucks another string because she's trying to go further in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it tears her fingernail off. So the nanobots come out, but then it comes out looking like a bird talon almost. And she's like, oh, that makes sense. They probably don't have human DNA. Well, the ship takes off and fucking obliterates her. She's basically in chunks of human and turns her into like a spider.
Right, yeah.
Sort of thing, like an octopus / spider / bird. And she tries to kill herself. She's like, no more, please, like in like very raspy voice. Slits her own throat, but then the nanobots come out and save her again. So I think the idea is like she's forever gonna be stuck alive and forever how long, I guess.
And I thought that one, which I thought was pretty cool, because the way it was like done, I thought was really cool, because it kind of felt like lo-fi like sci-fi from the 60s, something like Seconds or like Shivers. Have you ever seen any of Jim Henson's like early work before Sesame Street?
No, but I did see his son's puppet show called Puppet Up about adult puppeteering at the Jim Henson Studios not that long ago, last weekend.
Which I think somebody saved, right? Not to sidetrack, but like somebody saved the studio because it was being sold or something. Somebody bought it.
John Mayer? I'm not even kidding, because
Yeah.
that's the name everybody kept throwing around. I was like, you're talking about the guitarist? Yeah, John
Yeah.
Mayer. I'm like, okay.
But yeah, I thought it was like kind of cool the way they like did that, and I thought it was super clever the way they presented the video, because she's very like amateurish in her, like she's trying to, because the first thing we see is her trying to like introduce the video, and then she quickly like stops it, and she's clearly recording over a tape, which I thought was clever, and it's just her as a little girl. And I liked it.
No, that's her daughter.
Oh, that's her daughter. I thought it was her.
No, that's her daughter. There's when she does it initially, she's like, okay, I recorded over something I shouldn't have.
Right.
I mean, does that make me a bad parent? I don't know, but there'll be other birthdays, and that's where she leaves it on. I'm like, oh, she's gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't write dialogue like that without killing off the character.
Yeah, but I like that as a clever concept, right? Like, oh, like there's video that she's recording over that we're seeing, which is specifically tied to the character to add more meaning and depth to her, which I thought worked. And then like the effect of like, to me, this movie got it, because like the way to portray somebody stowing away on an alien ship and taking off, I thought, because it's almost abstract, right? You can barely kind of make out things. Things are happening kind of happening like very oddly, and there's like a lot of like weird images and stuff to kind of.
And would you say it was very, very like Geiger inspired, right? It felt very alien.
Yes. Yeah.
Or aliens.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. I mean, it's like kind of the opposite of Flight of the Navigator. It's like.
Yeah. It also low-key kind of plays like a Nine Inch Nails music video.
Right. Yeah. And I like that because it had a
Tool or something. Yeah.
Yeah. It had very like stimulating imagery into it and stuff like that. So, and it was sort of singular character focused, and based on the title, we kind of guess what would happen. So I thought this one really worked. I thought it was strong direction. It's pretty much just like one person acting through the most of this, and she's not this is like her first thing she's ever done. She's Alana Pierce. She's kind of like a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, but she used to do she's worked primarily in games, where like I think she used to review games for IGN, and she's worked at a couple other places like that until now. She's just kind of a influencer. She did did you know she did celebrity boxing match? She won a celebrity boxing match against another streamer. Yeah.
I just thought it was so coincidental that she also kind of resembles a young Kate Siegel.
You're being awfully generous with that description, but no, but yeah, I mean, wow, I'm color me surprised. Like Kate Siegel clearly directed the best. I would easily say directed the best short here.
Easily.
Yeah.
Because a lot of like you're right. The direction was fucking great. She made it seem like, okay, this lady is not a videographer. Like there was like she's doing an introduction and the camera is like not even level. Right. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
And she was able to get a great performance from somebody's first acting thing, right? So that says something. And of course, I really thought the script was really good too. So
Yeah, no, it's great. I'll be honest, I had to look it up because I stopped when I said like I stopped watching this. Was the dog one, and I was like, oh, that had to have been her because I'm a fucking hater. and and then when I looked it up, I was like Justin Long. Oh, what is that also track? And I was like Tusk. There you go.
It was the concept was very Tusk inspired, or wasn't it? I don't know if that's coincidence or not, but yeah, it was the idea of turning. Yeah, it was like almost the same premise.
Exactly the same premise, I would say. Yeah. Except this lady's turning a lot of people into dogs.
Right. Yeah. Weird.
But when I was watching that last segment, finally, I was like, oh, this is obviously Kate Siegels. And it's like, obviously very good.
Mm-hmm.
She's been, married. Like, they're very talented people. I'm just not a fan of her acting half the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's only right we just give her all the credit for the direction, at least, right?
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. No, like I think Mike Flanagan wrote it, but I also think I read that they co-wrote it, but he just got the credit for it.
Yeah. Because I imagine,
which I guess co-writing could be like while she's directing, she changes things, which would be
maybe it's like her concept and he kind of fleshed it out for her or something. You know what I mean? Like rewrote it or something. Yeah, that would make sense too. Yeah, it's kind of difficult because it's like they're a married couple, but they're like artists too. So it's like it's immediately you assume like one person influenced the other and stuff. But I would say like this doesn't really feel like a Mike Flanagan thing. So credit to her. Like she kind of has like her own voice, in it. So
because I was actually going to mention that I feel like this could be mostly her because it was, I'd venture to say, darker than anything I've ever seen Mike Flanagan write. Because it had such a sad ending, like such a really like, oh wow, there's no out of this.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Yep. Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I think she had said that she wants to turn this into a feature. She loved it. She wants to turn it into a feature. So whatever that may mean.
Oh shit! Maybe like they're on a different planet, and this young lady with her brother, who happens to be a robot, gets invited onto a ship called Romulus.
Give her the Alien franchise, you cowards.
I mean, maybe just take it away from Fede Alvarez and we'll talk.
Well, I don't know. It seems like I was about to say. It seems like Fede Alvarez is franchise now. Did you see that? What is it? They're going to make a TV show, but with the guy that did Fargo and Legion.
Oh, I heard that they were in talks with the person that did Prey.
Right, yeah. Because like it's a TV show that came out with the trailer, so it's like for sure coming out. It's called Alien Home. I think it's what it's or Earth. Alien dot, whatever, Earth or something like that.
As long as it's not Alien Nation, because I swear that's one more thing from my childhood.
Well, I don't think Fede Alvarez had anything to do with it. It's Noah Hawley, I think is his name. He created Fargo and Legion. That's so he's a very, he did Fargo, so it's very like critically accepted show. But yeah, did you hear about that? Was it sidetrack? That the guy, the director of Prey, made 2 Predator movies. He was going to make the sequel, but he made a second Predator movie, and it's just like in secret. But he came out that that secret movie is going to be from the perspective of the Predator creatures.
Well, that's pretty cool. I like that because it's not their fault that they keep running into fucking. It's like
we're the hillbillies of the sky, of Earth, of galaxies.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like if you can get like an older version of what the Predators used to look like, right? Because is it still canon in this thing that? Well, yeah, that they keep splicing their DNA to be more efficient.
I think everything. I think everything's canonical. Yeah, everything that like Predator movie that's happened has happened. They're not. It's the Alien franchise. I think that is like. Oh well, to a degree. I haven't seen Romulus, but you told me about it, so they're trying to reset it back and the Ridley Scott time.
No, well, yes. So they're not changing anything about the movies. They're just setting this movie in between Alien and Aliens.
Right. They're trying to get away from Prometheus, basically, right?
I think it's still canon.
Yeah. Yeah, once I said that, I was like, yeah, I remember. Yeah. It's not a fan of Prometheus. So people still like it. I was like, all right. To each their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We're not talking about other movies.
Yeah. I thought I was hearing somebody yelling on your side, but I think that's outside of my apartment.
Oh yeah,
so I think it's time to end. They're yelling at us to stop talking, ruining VHS Beyond for them.
Oh, I don't hear it anymore. They're dead now, so it's fine. No, I got you. Okay. Alrighty. Let's rate it, the movie. John, how many sexy spooky bones do you want to give it?
How many sexy spooky bones will you give it? Sexy bones. Ooh, sexy bones. Well, I know what you need. Show us your sexy spooky bones.
No, wait, don't do that. Just rate the movie. I'm gonna give VHS Beyond 6 sexy spooky bones.
I think this is going to be kind of a hard one for me to rate because I didn't like the majority of it, though I did really appreciate Stowaway. So, but if I had to judge it as a anthology movie, I'd probably say a 4. I wasn't keen on this one in particular.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it seemed like I enjoyed it more than you did, for the most part.
Right. Yeah. Which is usually the opposite. It's just...
Yeah.
All right, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Thank you for listening. And as always,
stay spooky. You win this one, Kate Siegel.